What's up, man?
Elliot, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good.
Hi, Chief.
Hey, Elliot, how you doing?
Good, good.
Happy New Year.
Well, thank you.
Happy New Year. Nice weather.
Is somebody introducing us, or are we?
Mitch, shall we?
You know what? I'm so used to Mitch introducing me. I was just waiting for him, but maybe I'll just get it. Should I just get it started? Or what's going on? How about I get us started here? Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being with us. And as you can see, it took a huge team to attract this elite event to the city of St. Louis. When sports are the highlight, of course, St. Louis shines. To those who are visiting our great city, welcome. We hope that St. Louis does you proud. We hope that you take an opportunity to go and see the many attractions and the things that we have in our city. We're expecting about 50,000 people to travel here to watch some of the most elite athletes in the world compete to go to the Olympics. Our preparations have been going on for many months. You'll hear from Chief Tracy here shortly about all the work and the planning that's gone in from the security and the policing side of things. I want to commend the entire police department and their team, their extraordinary work that they've done here in advance of this competition to make sure all the fans, the athletes, and our citizens, our residents, have a safe and fun time downtown while the events are taking place. Of course, the St. Louis Police Department is not new to doing this work. Every time we have a major event, sporting or otherwise, in our city, they go and do this work to make sure that our fans are safe and secure in our community. And that is why, again, over and over again, the St. Louis Sports Commission is able to compete for and win these elite sporting events. My sincere thanks go to Mark Schreiber and the Sports Commission. Their reputation speaks for themselves. They do an excellent job attracting these types of events to our community. Some of the biggest winners, of course, off the ice are our downtown businesses, both hotel and restaurant. This event is expected to have an economic impact of $20 million right here, direct spending of $14 million in just 1 week in our downtown community. All in all, we're expecting 60,000 fans to pack the Enterprise Center. We encourage all locals from all over St. Louis to come down and share in the event and the excitement of watching these athletes compete here in St. Louis. With that, I'm going to turn it over to St. Louis Police Department Chief Tracy.
Thank you, Mayor. And with me today, that has done a lot of work with the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department, does the planning. I have Lieutenant Colonel Renee Kreisman, who runs our operations. And I also have Captain Chris Stamper, who covers this area in the 4th District. So not only for this event, but he prepares for every event that happens downtown, including the surrounding area in the 4th District. So I want to tell them thank you and recognize them for the great work that they do. If it was not for them, I wouldn't be able to be standing up here today and talk about some of our successes. So thank you very much, Lieutenant Colonel and Captain Stamper. We're proud to welcome tens of thousands of people, including athletes, families, and fans to St. Louis, where we want them to enjoy everything our city has to offer. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department has been planning this event well in advance, and we have a multi-day operational plan in place. Sort of like when we had the Frozen Four and how successful that was many months ago, that we had something similar that the St. Louis Sports Commission was able to get that in. And if you take a look at some of the surveys that were out there after the people and everybody visited our city, we had exit surveys that were incredible, what our city has to offer, how safe it was, and how people might have been surprised at how great this city is if they didn't do their homework and didn't already know the things we had to offer. I encourage the media to take a look at those last surveys coming out, and the St. Louis Sports Commission has, and they published that after the Frozen Four. And we've been working closely with event organizers, enterprise, hotels, regional partners to support safe and welcome experience. I see Chris Zimmerman, the CEO, who's here from the Blues, so thank you for everything you're doing, supporting the police, supporting the city, and especially this event, sir. This is a major event for our city. And our goal for visitors is to leave with great memories, both on and off the ice. Visitors and residents will see an increased police presence in and around the Enterprise, downtown, and downtown west. While we cannot discuss specific operational tactics, our focus is on visibility, rapid response, and ensuring a safe environment for everyone attending and visiting. And we look forward to everybody having a good time, and this is a boon and a boost to our city to recognize everything we have to offer. With that, I'd like to introduce the President of the St. Louis Sports Commission, Mark Schreiber. Mark?
Thank you very much, Chief Tracy. Just a big thank you to all of you for coming out today. This is great, and really grateful for the coverage that's been extended to the championships. I know that's been a big deal for U.S. figure skating. and for all of us. So thank you for that. And I'm just going to roll through some thank yous real quick, just because we've been so appreciative of the collaboration and cooperation that's existed amongst all of our partners here. I mean, that's what makes St. Louis, and that's what makes an event like this successful and allows us to bring future events, major events, to our community. But police department, just always wonderful to us. Chief Tracy, Renee Kreisman, as part of our local organizing committee, so thank you. Explore St. Louis, Ed Stapanox representing them today, but Brad Dean as well. Tremendous supporters, Greater St. Louis Inc. with Ron Kitchens, Ryan McClure with the Gateway Arch Park Foundation. Everybody has come together to have a piece of this event that's going to make it special for locals and visitors. And I've got to tip our caps especially to Enterprise Center. I know Chief referenced Chris Zimmerman, but the entire staff, the Blues and Enterprise Center, no one does it better. And it's almost an underappreciated thing, but the way they rise to the occasion on an event like this, and this is a really hard event, multiple days, long days, and we always get the feedback of they do whatever we need. They always rise up, and that's very much appreciated. And we had the same experience at Centene Community Ice Center with the juniors and novices over the last few days. I think sometimes we take that all for granted, what the venue does, but it's another sort of secret to our success. I think the best way to maybe describe the week ahead, I'm going to borrow Johnny Weir's line. Johnny's the analyst with NBC on their figure skating coverage, and he was asked, how do you describe championships? And he used the word epic. And I think that is a great way to describe the week ahead, is it's going to truly be epic. And this event delivers all we want when we go after a major event. It's going to excite locals. It's going to generate huge visitor spending, economic impact, thousands of visitors coming to our region, and it, of course, puts St. Louis in just an outstanding spotlight nationally, showcases us at our best. We're going to have the chance to see greatness. U.S. figure skating's the momentum that they have right now is tremendous. And 3 of the 4 disciplines in figure skating right now, we have the reigning world champions. So today, we're exactly a month away from the Olympic Games in Milan. Just a few weeks, those Olympians that we're going to be cheering on from our living rooms, watching from the U.S. here, they're right there on the ice this week here at Enterprise Center. So that's very exciting for all of us. I think the greatness extends to what we're trying to do to welcome visitors and entertain St. Louisans this week. So very excited about all that. Real quick, finally, just want to thank a few other people. Our co-chairs for the event, my predecessor mentor, Frank Viverito, is right here helping us out still. Jackie Joyner-Kersey, who I'm going to introduce in a second, is Frank's co-chair. Well, Frank's Jackie's co-chair. And then I'd also like to bring up Matt Farrell, the CEO of U.S. Figure Skating. It has been wonderful working with our friends at U.S. Figure Skating, a great partnership, and Matt's been terrific, and just very much appreciate that partnership that we have going into the event. So Matt, please come up, and love to have you say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, the City of St. Louis. I want to impact and accentuate something that Mark said. What you're going to see here is the best skating team in the world. It's not the best skating team in the United States. St. Louis is the first step to the podium in Milan. And the skaters that you're going to see here are going to be medalists in Milan. So this is so exciting. And if you think about our sport, of just like the iconic names in the history of our sport, everything, Peggy Fleming, Dorothy Hamill, Sean Hamilton, Brian Boitano, and on and on and on. that's what you're going to see here. That's who's up next. And it's really special. And the athletes will tell you that the environment, the atmosphere, the tension of this event can sometimes, if not always, be greater than the Olympic Games themselves, because you got to get there first. And that's what the importance of this event is, of putting it all on the line, the absolute best skaters in the world. So I want to say thank you to the St. Louis Sports Commission and our new friends with the city and the mayor and our new adopted figure skater, Jackie Joyner-Kersee. She's been a star, as you can only imagine. But this city and this sports commission are just viewed around the world as first-class professional operation. And it's important that you all hear that as well, of how well they are viewed as a sports commission. And it's a testament to events like this. So we're going to see thousands of screaming fans every night. This is a family event. You're going to see the mix of athleticism and artistry and music and fashion. Really just a great family event all coming together here, and I think you're going to be blown away. So enjoy the event now, then go to one of the many skating rinks in St. Louis and try out the sport, but I guarantee you're going to see something special this week, and so thank you very much.
Thank you, Matt. Before I bring up Jackie, I just want to also thank Mayor Spencer and your whole staff for coordinating this today and being so supportive of what we're doing. So thank you very much. And I don't really need much of an introduction for Jackie. You know how much she means to our community, but I'll just tell you, as we asked her to be there for us on the U.S. Figure Skating Championships, my favorite line that I get from Jackie anytime I reach out now is, "All in." And I'm so grateful for that. We're so lucky to have her in St. Louis. Everybody, it's one of the greatest Olympians there can be. Jackie Joyner-Kersee.
Thank you. I would like to thank Mayor Spencer for her leadership, also the St. Louis Sports Commission, the local organization, helped put this together to make it possible, and to thank Frank Viverito, my co-chair. But then just speaking from the perspective of being an Olympian, the opportunity to be able to compete at the highest level, and for each and every one of you to be able to share those stories makes a huge difference when they leave here and go on and represent USA. So I want to say to all of you, I want to say thank you, St. Louis Sports Commission, because they couldn't do it alone. They embracing, bringing people that have never been exposed to figure skating, bringing people like from the Jackie Joyner-Kersee Center. Our students are going to come, learning what it's like to lace up, the skates and see that blade. But more importantly, it's the stories that you share. The young people that's going to compete and represent Team USA, and to know that it started right here in St. Louis. We say we're the gateway to the West, but more importantly, they're going to see what a beautiful city we have. It's for family. They have fun. We have arts. We have everything that a family could want, and also the culture of the food. And to learn more about what the St. Louis Sports Commission is doing, along with Mayor Spencer, what they're doing, to give her time, knowing that what has happened, in North St. Louis. But they found the time to be here. It says a lot about this community. It says a lot about what they're trying to do in bridging that gap and bringing us all together. Thank you. Wait a minute. Now it's time to bring up Ron Kitchen.
All right, I win. I got the baton passed to me from Jackie Joyner-Kersee, so I win the day. So on behalf of the business community, Greater St. Louis Inc., first thing we want to say is what an incredible event. Too many times we look at events like this and we think it's tourism or sports. This is business. We know of the top 3 indicators of why companies pick communities is 1, They read about the community and the great things happening in that community in a media outlet they trust. 2, they visited that community and they saw the incredible place that we were. St. Louis has never been more vibrant, never been more safe, never been more engaged. But now we need the community to come down, be in this arena. When you see the contestants, thank them for coming. Thank them for being here. Thank their parents for being here. Ask if they own a business and if they'd like to move it here, and then pass their number on to me. But we need to understand that the greatest force for change is a job, and those jobs start in places like this. So on behalf of Greater St. Louis, Inc., it is my pleasure to be part of this partnership and to pass it on to representing Explore St. Louis, Ed Skiponik.
Thanks. And all due respect to Ron, I'm just glad I don't have to follow Jackie Joyner Kersey at the microphone. She's always so inspiring and so great. So first, thank you as well. Do appreciate everything that the mayor's office, the police department does to help support events like this. And, thank you to the St. Louis Sports Commission, Mark and the team. A lot of work goes into this. Thank you for your leadership in bringing this event to St. Louis and for your partnership throughout the year. Events like this aren't just meaningful from an economic development standpoint. They're also a true source of civic pride for St. Louis, and they showcase what our city does best. There is so much happening downtown right now, and tourism continues to be the tip of the spear with everything we want for St. Louis, supporting jobs, investment, and vitality. In addition to the competition itself, attendees this week will go to from the U.S. Figure Skating Championships, will go to Winterfest. They'll go to Union Station. They'll go to Ballpark Village, and the countless restaurants, attractions, and other venues that we have downtown that make our business thrive. Those visitors fuel momentum in the entire region as well. That impact is measurable. We've been reporting for months that St. Louis has been leading the top 25 U.S. hotel markets, even when most of those cities are in decline. In the last 6 months, downtown St. Louis hotels are up 9.1% in revenue per available room, and that's driven by a strong mix of sporting events like this, conventions, concerts, and leisure travel. U.S. Figure Skating is a perfect example of that strength. As the mayor said, this has big economic impact. Direct spending from this event will be $14 million and more than $20 million in total economic impact. That translates also to $1.2 million in local tax revenue and nearly 28,000 hotel rooms for our hotel community. But the value goes beyond the numbers. Visitors are our ultimate brand ambassadors. They take their experience that they have here back home with them. What they felt, what they saw, how they were welcomed. St. Louis's commitment to hosting safe, well-run events puts us in the national spotlight and makes us even more competitive for future opportunities. The stories that the athletes, attendees, and media will share with their time this week in St. Louis are invaluable. And they are only possible because of the collaboration with the organizations that are represented here today. Mayor Spencer and the leaders you've heard from this afternoon have big aspirations for this city, and hosting major events like the U.S. Figure Skating Championships is just an example of what's to come. And so to talk more, Executive Director of the Gateway Arch Park Foundation, Ryan McClure.
Thank you, Ed. I have the privilege of closing everything out today, so I'm the last speaker, and then I'm sure we'll open up for questions. But make no mistake, this incredible event that is happening is part of just amazing momentum that's happening in downtown St. Louis. If you have not been to downtown in a while, now is the time to come. As the nation's attention and visitors fill St. Louis and our city, it's rising to the occasion once again to do what we do best, working together across the city to create unforgettable experiences right here in downtown St. Louis. Gateway Arch Park Foundation is proud to work with all of the organizations that are represented here today. We're proud to be part of this event, and at the heart of everything we do is partnership and collaboration. So Matt mentioned, get out and experience all of the rinks that are in St. Louis. Well, we've got one 7 blocks away from here at Winterfest. This is our 10th year of doing Winterfest, so we've got an ice skating rink and lots of other great things to do in Keener Plaza, as I mentioned, 7 blocks away. And when we started talking to the Sports Commission and U.S. Figure Skating earlier in 2025 about keeping Winterfest open, usually we close it on New Year's Day, but keeping it open longer to augment the figure skating championships, it just made sense. So we went out and we found the funding to do that, and we can't do events like that without corporate support, the generosity of this community. That's what makes things like Winterfest and this partnership happen. Our mission at its core is to activate Gateway Arch National Park, St. Louis's undeniable calling card to the world, and the areas around it to create community and lasting memories right in the shadow of the Gateway Arch and the old courthouse. As I mentioned, Winterfest is made possible through the support of sponsors and members and community partners and civic leaders, allowing us to bring this experience to St. Louis. And so far, over 60,000 St. Louisans and our visitors have visited Winterfest this season, and we're not even done yet. So we extended Winterfest, and we're open this weekend to welcome skating fans to special open skate sessions on the Winterfest rink, panels and meet and greets with Olympic skaters, arts, activities, and live music across Keener Plaza. That's in addition to all the things that St. Louisans know and love about Winterfest, and you can go to archpark.org/Winterfest to see all of those events. So in closing, we are thrilled to welcome 60,000 more folks to St. Louis, to Winterfest, and to show St. Louis as a place where culture, sports, arts, and community come together. And again, Gateway Arch Park Foundation is just so incredibly proud to be part of this event. Thank you.
We have time for a few questions. I know the mayor's probably going to get
Chief, can you, I know you don't want to give operation, but can you say roughly how many police officers will be assigned to this at different times?
Yeah, you do not want to give that up. What we're going to do, if you looked at the Frozen Four and how well that went, we're really replicating a lot of things at major events that we have. So we will have people visible, we'll have people that are in the areas that they need them to be. We'll have plainclothes police officers that'll be out here to make sure that we're watching things not just at a uniform presence, but outside of uniform presence. And I certainly don't want to give our tactics up to someone that might be listening.
I'm not asking about tactics, but numbers.
Tactics, numbers, no.
Okay.
I'm not going to give those numbers to you. I'm going to tell you that we're definitely going to have this place covered and have a successful event like we had with the Frozen Four, very similar.
Chief, what would you say to a resident who may be worried that with the attention given to downtown, something that may be happening outside of downtown won't get the prompt response they want to see?
Right. Well, we do a lot of events, even during the EF3 tornado. We covered this city, made sure we answered all calls for service. We do have discretionary overtime. A lot of the money that's coming in that the mayor talked about, over $20 million, a lot of that goes to police services. So we can add additional people on overtime, additional patrols. It's not sustainable for everything, but we make sure the rest of the city is covered in spite of having, or actually celebrating having an event like this in the city and doing things like that. We don't sacrifice the rest of the city for special events because we're a professional police department that can do both.
Are you going to actually have people on overtime working on this?
I possibly will have people on overtime. Yes, the answer is that the possibility is there, and I should have some people on overtime.
Mayor Spencer, they mentioned $1.2 million of tax revenue from that economic impact. What does that mean for the city that has seen the amount of damage to businesses, homes, etc., and took a tax hit because of the tornado?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we probably saw we did re-tax assessments, and so some of those tax revenues on the residential side are down a little bit, but I'm proud that we've got an increase, as we mentioned, 9% in hotel tax. We've also seen an increase in restaurant sales tax in the city of St. Louis this last year, we are on the up and up. And so those, as the chief pointed out, those additional revenues that this event, other events like this, and sporting events in general really play an important role in the bottom line for the city. They allow us to not only support our police department, to pave our roads, keep the lights on, and do a whole host of things that we need to do as a city to make it a welcoming and a great place to visit and a great place to live.
Mayor, you talked about
Yeah.
This here in our area.
It is so exciting.
Talk about that.
It is so exciting. I mean, these are some of the best athletes in the world. I mean, we're going to see these folks competing on the international space in just a few months from now. So to be able to see them here competing to be on the team is just a tremendous opportunity for folks visiting, but for the St. Louis locals. I mean, for anybody out there that is thinking about competing on a worldwide basis on any sport, to see the caliber of athletes that we have here in St. Louis right now is a tremendous opportunity for our community.
Mayor, you talked about some of the momentum, and St. Louis always does a good job landing these major events, drawing people downtown. But as we now are in 2026, what are some of the goals that the city has in order to sustain some of that foot traffic that the big events do bring to downtown?
Yeah, I mean, Corey, it's not just about sustaining it. I mean, we were going to grow it. I mean, we have big plans about making downtown even more walkable, having more of that sort of retail, that restaurant activity, the things that really keep and retain people down here, not just for visiting, but for living. I mean, and we've got plans that we'll be, putting forward in the coming months, years ahead, to make sure that we're moving in that direction, and we are. It's clear from not only the tax revenue I talked about, but our police department's doing a great job. Our crime stats are tremendously moving in the right direction. We have a whole host of things that are really lining up to make 2026 and the years following to be St. Louis's best years ahead.
Yeah. Sports Commission. Can you talk about how this is a renaissance for downtown and bringing in international and national sporting events to make sure that downtown is an international?
And that's what we want to do. A big thing for the Sports Commission is we want to bring activity and vibrancy, particularly to downtown St. Louis, region-wide too. But downtown is our heartbeat, and we need it to be at its best. And so, the more we can do to bring high-impact, high-value, high-profile events to downtown St. Louis, that's what we want to be all about. So,
I just want to clarify some figures. Your staff had given one of our reporters this past 55,000 people from out of town expecting. I heard today 50. I mean, what is the actual?
Yeah, I think we've got, we probably see it as unique visitors, whereas some numbers out there would be sort of your cumulative attendance. So I would anticipate in terms of unique visitors to the region, it's probably in the ballpark of 5,000, which,
They're here for several days.
Exactly, and that's the spectacular thing about this event. We don't have many events that go 7 full days. So you're talking about thousands of people here for a week-long event.
50,000 is probably a cumulative.
Yes, exactly. But the impact is magnificent, and to have it
could be counted twice or 3
right
times as well.
to have it in the middle of the winter, to have that sort of visitor pickup, I know our friends at Explore St. Louis would say it's a pretty darn good deal.
This event is a big win for St. Louis, but we know that not everyone is a yes to come to St. Louis. So what still needs to happen in some of the conversations that you have with some other events that are looking to come here? Is that final selling point for St. Louis to kind of put them over the top?
Our thing, Corey, is just the competition out there is so hard. So we just have to keep up as a destination. And I know, this group behind me, everybody that's the great thing. There is such a will and focus to move us forward. And if we keep on that path, we're gonna get there. And we just go up against cities that have made great strides, and St. Louis is gonna do the same thing. And we're gonna keep bringing the major events here.
Mr. Joyner, can you talk about as being all this other aside, just as you as an athlete, what this means when you go into
The question is talk about what it means being an athlete competing at this level. Because for some it might be their first time, and some might be their second time being an Olympian. But more importantly, the the atmosphere of the fans, you know, the stories that you all are able to tell. You have some people you might not even know of, but being able to share that story, give them the lift to go on and, you know, do something very special. So I know when I competed, it was like I went in, I focused on what I needed to do, but sometimes you need that extra person. So when you got the judges, you got the officials, but then you have their family and friends, and then they have all of us. You know, you make that difference because someone might be very doubtful, but just coming into the stadium and hearing loud claps and cheering them on might boost someone to do something that they didn't even know they had the ability to do. But because being an Olympian and making it and representing Team USA, it is very, very special. You know, and it is a unique group of individuals that's able to go from Olympic hopeful to an Olympian and go on top of the podium. So I would just say that to each and every one of you, be able to share those stories of the athletes, but then also to the people who might not understand what figure skating is. But here you have an opportunity to see the best athletes in the world. You know, we had the Museo Award. Chrissy Yamaguchi was the Stan Museo winner. You know, Tara Lipinski is going to be here. You know, so just different, you know, and Brian Bottano have come to this city to encourage not only the ones that's competing in the single, but then the pairs. So it's a unique family, but more importantly, you are a part of that extended family. You make the difference. You that extra point that they need to go on and represent Team USA.
What advice do you have for the athletes or maybe the young people volunteering who are seeing these folks compete at the highest level and think, how can I get there? I can't get there. You know, what advice do you have for them?
My advice for them to say, no, it's not that you can't. I want to be there. I have an opportunity to rub shoulders, you know, or either be able to take someone's equipment, but I believe in having just visualizing. You know, I see you out there, but I see myself. It might not be my time, but I believe I can be there. So I am one that I don't believe in what I can't do. I believe in what we can do. And that's what we're trying to do here with the St. Louis Sports Commission, the mayor office, you know, with the police, with all of us, the businesses, the arts, is that we are here to talk about what St. Louis can do in this area. And people that's coming out from this area to see the great St. Louis and share those stories and inspire them, because they're going to take a piece of us with them when they go on and represent us on an international level.
Mark, this question for you. What is the next event that you hope St. Louis can secure with a good performance, good stage here this weekend?
Hey,
Yeah.
Rachel, can Mark answer that question looking in this direction because of the mics? We're getting feedback that they can't hear if they're looking back up. Thank you.
Apologies for that.
On radio, I don't know.
Directing the
Your mic is here, though. They won't be able to hear it.
I'm thinking about Rachel as I'm answering this way. So yeah, that's actually a wonderful question because we're in the midst of multiple bids. So there's a lot at stake. In fact, we're bidding on the 2030 U.S. Figure Skating Championships right now. So that bid is in play. We just submitted a bid for the 2028 U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials. Great way for us to connect to the LA Games. And literally just a few minutes ago, walked out of a meeting with Chris and Roger and Todd and the whole crew here about the 2028 World Cup of Hockey, which we're making a great push for as well. Later this summer, we're going to be submitting several bids for future NCAA championships, everything from basketball, wrestling, Frozen 4 again, the NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship. So you can understand as I rattle all that off, you know, we prove ourselves this week. It only helps that case even more. And the wonderful thing about St. Louis, we've been able to assemble that great track record of success. And I think Matt would say, you know, that this community has a reputation for stepping up and producing events at a great level. So even though I wasn't looking at you, was that satisfactory? by the way, just while I'm here, I would not be doing my job if I didn't say there are tickets still available for this week. Don't assume it's a sellout. We have 9 championship sessions here, so plenty of opportunities for St. Louisans to see the event. SkateStLouis2026.com is where you go for all the info.
How are ticket sales going right now?
Very good. We're going to have great attendance. Community has responded. We, with our all-session tickets, we are well ahead of past cities. And that's a great indication of the economic impact potential, because I think a lot of those all-session tickets go to sort of diehard figure skating fans that are coming in from around the country. So that was very encouraging to see. So it's sort of a great story in the sense of attendance is strong, but still a chance for people that want to be a part of the event, they can be part of the event.
How about like 1 or 2 more questions? You good?
0.
Awesome.
You got it.
Thank you.
I